Because if he was able to swindle in just a few years' time $10 million, imagine if he implemented all of these characteristics into his network marketing business. He wouldn't have had to swindle anybody. He wouldn't have had to scheme anybody.
Simon would have been a really good network marketer.
Yes, because he's good at swindling people, because that's exactly...
Yeah.
She's like, oh, but if he would have done all these things in network marketing, then he would have been really successful, and it wouldn't have been swindling because I'm calling it network marketing rather than swindling.
Because we're just changing the label. Instead of looking at the actual actions that are involved, she's just like, well, it's the label's changed, so now it's not, problematic and illegal and scammy. We're just calling it network marketing now.
If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck.
Yeah.
Oh
it doesn't matter what you call it. If the actions involved are the same, then it is the same thing.
I can't think of, honestly, anything better that I could possibly show someone besides for actual data to demonstrate that MLM is a scam than her saying these things. I mean, she's just straight up admitting
saying it. I never thought I'd hear an MLM coach directly comparing network marketing to the Tinder Swindler, but here we are. Recently, MLM coach Jessie Lee, who calls herself bosslee, hosted an Instagram Live where she told her followers that Simon Leviev of Netflix's The Tinder Swindler was actually a good businessman. She proceeded to outline some of the techniques that Simon used to defraud women out of millions of dollars and told her followers that they should incorporate these techniques into their network marketing businesses. I was really intrigued when I saw that Jessie had talked about this in a live stream because I've actually produced a video on my channel about the Tinder Swindler. I'm very familiar with this documentary, and I'm very familiar with the methods of manipulation Simon used to scam his Tinder dates. Simon would pretend to be this wealthy and well-traveled businessman who was just looking for love. He'd take women he matched with on Tinder on these really expensive and lavish dates, convincing them that he did in fact have money. Over the course of several months, he'd build up trust with the women, some of whom thought they'd end up married. After earning their trust, Simon would ask to borrow money from them, saying that he no longer had access to his bank accounts or assets because his business competitors were after him. Simon would borrow hundreds of thousands of dollars. The women believed he'd return the money he borrowed because, after all, he was this rich business mogul. When Simon repeatedly failed to return their money, many of the women caught on. It turned out that Simon was a serial scammer running a Ponzi scheme. He'd suck in new women to swindle using the money he acquired from those he had already swindled. So yeah, Simon wasn't a businessman in any sense of the word. He was a sociopathic scammer who ruined the lives of countless women. It blows my mind that Jessie Lee upholds him as someone her followers should emulate. Today, we're going to watch Jessie's live together and analyze what exactly she finds so redeeming about Simon Leviev. I'm bringing back Drew from Genetically Modified Skeptic to help us react to this, and if you're not already subscribed to Drew, I highly suggest checking out his channel. All right, let's jump right in.
Hello everybody, what is going on? It is Jessie Lee, and you can call me Boss Lee, or the People's Mentor. And today's show is all about how the Tinder Swindler can teach you how to actually run business. And so I actually think this is going to be an incredible training, and so you should make sure that you share this video. You should make sure that you participate in the video. You can tell me where you're coming in from below. I'm here in Frisco, Texas, and I was telling a friend of mine exactly how I was thinking all business when I saw this documentary, and he said, I don't understand how you could do a training on the Tinder Swindler. And I said, what? Watch me!
I don't know how you go into watching a documentary that's literally about fraud, which is business gone bad, and take business advice from it. To me, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, you certainly could take business advice from it as long as you're not really concerned with ethical business practices.
And which she probably isn't.
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting that she knew before even watching the documentary what she wanted to take from it. She took from the documentary what she wanted to see, which in her mind, everything is about business and network marketing. So she somehow found a way to take network marketing business tips from a documentary about fraud.
I am going to teach you. So for those of you who don't know about the Tinder Swindler, if you watched it, drop Tinder in the comments. And if you didn't, just drop no in the comments. And I'll just give you a quick little recap. Basically, there's this man. I don't even remember his name. You can put the name or something in the shirt. You guys like my shirt? You run your mouth, I'll run my business. I love it too.
Pretty sure that's a dig at anti-MLMers.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she does like to brag about how much she acknowledges the critics all the time. But like we discussed in our last video together, she apparently has never watched even a single second of any response to her at all.
But somehow she knows all of our arguments.
Yeah.
And she doesn't pay attention to the haters, but she sure mentions us a lot.
I think it's a serious red flag. I mean, it's pretty obvious that she really likes to say, oh, I have so many haters and that gives me validation. But she doesn't actually care what any of her detractors might have to say, even when she's making a video about how a person who committed fraud is good.
Yeah.
So basically, essentially, this man, I don't remember his name, you can put it in the chat if you know it, this crazy man swindled women out of $10 million. $10 million. Okay, it was basically, I guess he's still doing it, but essentially a Ponzi scheme where this man convinced women that they needed to send him money because his enemies were after him. So I'm going to teach you, Simon is his name. Okay, so I'm going to teach you what Simon did and how you can actually implement it into your business, but in a way that is not so swindly.
I mean, okay, one thing I have to say is she is a woman swindling people out of money by using a narrative of her enemies being against her.
Yeah.
So I mean,
at least partly.
there's some similarities there.
There is some similarities.
In a way that is not so highly illegal, and in a way that is probably going to help you build your business. If at any point during this video you...
Okay, I think it's really interesting how she uses the phrase not so swindly. I'm going to teach you how to implement the techniques that Simon used in a way that's not so swindly, which kind of has the connotation that what she's doing is somewhat
it's a little swindly. Just a little bit.
I don't think she's meaning to say that, but I think it's a very interesting choice of words that she makes. She could have said, in a way that's not fraud, in a way that's not swindling, but instead she said, not so swindly. It's like she's aware of what she's doing at some level, I think.
I also like that she indicated not so illegal, because all of what she's about to say is legal because of the ridiculous leniency in our laws here when it comes to business practices. But legal doesn't mean ethical.
Yeah, legal doesn't mean ethical.
Find this to be useful, make sure you share the video, make sure you tag people in the video, and we're going to rock and roll. This is on Netflix, yes, and so let's get started. So the first thing that I will say is, of course, the Tinder Swindler is utilizing an application called Tinder. And if you don't know, on Tinder, it is endless amounts of people, okay? You swipe left, you swipe, if you don't like them, you swipe right if you do. Bosslee, send me money, my enemies are after.
This is kind of nitpicky, but it's not that there's an endless amount of people on Tinder. I mean, there is an end. Like, there are a limited amount of people. And I think she's saying that because later she might be like, that's the same with network marketing. You have an endless number of prospects, when that's not actually true. I mean, there is a limited population on the earth.
Yeah.
And that's part of why MLM doesn't work. The MLM model assumes an infinite amount of prospects, but you can't actually do that in real life. There is a limit to the amount of prospects. And so you'll run out of people to recruit rather quickly. I think if you look at the math of MLM, if everyone's recruiting 3 people, there's a certain level that you'll get to, which isn't very, that's not very deep. Yeah, where you'll exceed the population of the earth. And I'll put that graphic in there to help you guys out. I can't remember how many levels deep it is.
After me. Catherine. Okay, so he was a prospecting maniac. He was very good at understanding the fact that he was going to need a lot of people if he was going to make $10 million plus. If he was going to keep his scheme up of being able to get $25,000 from people, $100,000 from people, $200,000 from people, $1 million from people, he was going to have a big, large pool of prospects. Well, your business is no different. So many of you are focused on the same 2 to 3 people. There is no way that Simon was able to talk to 2 to 3 people and get $10 million schemed out of them. It was a constant flow of prospects. He was swiping to continue to get more and more and more and more and more prospects.
I think it's really interesting that she's talking about this constant flow of prospects, and in network marketing, you need this constant flow of prospects. And she's talking about this as though that's not problematic.
Yeah.
Because that's what anti-MLMers critique a lot of the time. That's one of the problems with MLM, is that it does require a constant flow of prospects in order for you to make any money.
And note that a constant flow of prospects is very different than other business models where you're talking about a constant flow or sale of product.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah, it's a constant flow of people that you're recruiting into the business. Normal businesses aren't going to just hire people without a limit. It's gonna be based off of the demand of their product that they're selling. That kind of determines how many employees you can have. Like, you can't just have an infinite amount of employees. So it just doesn't really even make any sense if you look at it.
It makes sense if the employees are actually the customers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want you to ask yourself, how many of you have been prospecting enough in your business to make $10 million? If the answer is not enough, maybe you should keep swiping. And I don't actually mean swiping. That would mean, how many reels are you posting? How many TikToks are you posting? How many live videos are you doing? Thank you for sharing over here. I appreciate you, Caitlin, Aaron, right? Thank you for sharing. Megan. Oh my gosh, my girl Megan, right? Like, you need to think about these things, because I promise you're probably not prospecting enough. The next thing is that he moved very quickly. Write these things down. These are all really good tips on building business. He did not mess around. What I see most of you do is you take your time. I like to call it business foreplay when I'm coaching people. I'm like, how long do you plan on doing this business foreplay for? Like, how long are you going to lollygag around over and over and over and over again before you actually ask for the close? Well, Simon was very deliberate in the Tinder Swindler. What Simon would do, you guys can tell me if I'm telling the story right. You can chat with me in the chat, okay? We can make this interactive, okay? If you're enjoying this, you can drop flames, all right? So what he would do is he would connect with you. He'd swipe, and he would say, hey, I'm leaving town tonight. Let's get coffee. Let's get tea. Let's get a drink right now. I'll meet you in the town center. I'll meet you whatever. I'm leaving. Let's go. Time was of the essence. Well, how many of you, it's like, oh, okay. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, whenever you get the opportunity, yeah, sure, okay. No! Like, he was in it to close the deal. He moved very, 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 very quickly with these women, okay?
So basically, she wants her followers to use FOMO, or like fear of missing out, to pressure people into making a decision about whether or not they want to join, which isn't a good thing.
Yeah.
Like, in business, people do use FOMO, like limited time sales is an example, but in the scale of ethical to unethical, that's closer to ethical, but using FOMO to pressure someone to join a MLM business model is definitely on the unethical side of it.
When you're pairing it with like false claims about how much income they can make. Yeah, it gets pretty bad. Also, in the last video that we reacted to with her, didn't she say that cold messaging people is ridiculous, and I don't know who's training those losers? And in this, she's saying, oh, just hurry up and get it over with. I mean, I know she
might not necessarily be talking about cold messaging, though.
She's not saying cold messaging, but I feel like there's a strong implication of, okay, you need to get in there and you need to talk about the business as soon as you possibly can, which is, people could really easily interpret as cold messaging. So who's training these people to say these stupid cold messaging things? You are.
Well, even like the whole, you need to have a constant flow of prospects. That entails you're going to have to cold message or talk to strangers eventually, because you know, people don't have like this infinite pool of people they know.
Yeah.
Very quickly with these women. So he'd be like, let's meet tonight. Let's meet tonight. Are you asking your prospects things like, are you ready to get started? What questions can I answer for you to get started? Like, how quickly are you getting people to the end zone in business, okay? Next is he was very good at showing the benefits, all right? So good at showing the benefits. How many of you are not that good at showing the benefits of your business? You're not that good at showing the plan, right? You're not that good at showing the plan. Like, I talk about the business all the time. I'm constantly sharing the plan. I'm constantly telling my story. I'm all the time, link in the bio, 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 link in the bio. If you look at my reels, my TikToks, my posts, my photos, my videos, everything from this weekend, I showed you, especially in my stories, over and over and over and over and over again, the benefits of being in business with me. I showed you Empire University. I showed you the training. I showed you the culture. I showed you the fun. I showed you the education. Well, the Tinder swindler would swindle these women by simply showing them the fancier things in life, taking them on private jets, sending them gifts, keeping them super involved. All of these different things over and over and over and over again. He's showing them the benefits of doing life with him.
He's showing them all the stuff that he stole from other people.
Yeah. Here's the thing is the benefits he was showing weren't real.
Yeah.
They weren't real benefits. So is she basically telling her followers you should just fake your lifestyle or fake how much money you have or fake all the benefits that people can get from joining your business? Because that's what Simon did.
Right. If you do it like Simon, I mean, he's showing off this private jet that apparently he owns, but no, he didn't. He would rent it with someone's money that he stole from them.
With women's money that he had already swindled in order to rope in the next women. Ugh. Yeah, that's the thing is that she's saying this and she wants her followers to do this, but there weren't any benefits to life with Simon. Yeah. It was all fake.
Also, in the last one that we reacted to, she said that we don't need to be making unreasonable income claims in this business to try to like reel people in. But isn't that analogous to exactly what Simon did? And I mean, her showing off like, oh, my supercar, and she's admitting over and over, I am showing the benefits of being in this business, like how much money you can make, all of these great things that you can have, which are completely unrealistic for the vast majority of people if you actually look at the math of how MLMs work. So I mean, there's no difference here. She's saying lie, just like how Simon lied.
Yeah.
Show a bunch of, like, all the money that you swindled out of people's pockets unethically, just like Simon did.
Yeah.
The benefits don't have to be real. Just make something up and show it to them.
But also, she's completely contradicting things that she said in the past, because the last video we reacted to, she was saying, don't do that. Yeah. Don't just show, like, the supercars and the lavish lifestyle and all the, you know, high tier benefits. You need to be showing the real stories. And they made a whole point about that. But she did later contradict herself, like literally in the sentence that followed by talking about how she always posts about her supercars on Instagram. And in this video, she's saying something completely opposite of that. And I've noticed this with Jessie Lee, and I'm not trying to like psychoanalyze her necessarily, but she tends to contradict herself a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like even within the same video or within the same like point that she's making, she'll say something and then the sentence right following it will be completely different.
It's classic doublespeak. And if Jessie Lee, if you're watching, George Orwell was the one that talked about that. I know you don't like to read your critics, but you probably couldn't make it through high school without that one. So go ahead and recommend 1984 for you. Pretty
sure I've seen the list of books that she recommends, and it's stuff like GoPro by Eric Worre and like, you know, all the self-helpy stuff that I hate because I hate self-help. So I doubt she's going to read something like
Probably
that.
not.
Trust as well, which we'll talk about in a minute. But he was constantly showing the benefits of a life with Simon. Life with Simon. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. And remember, we do share giveaways on Facebook, so make sure you're sharing it as many times as humanly possible all over the place. And then we do a giveaway at the end of the week, okay? But what are the benefits of being in a relationship with Simon? He would take them to these luxury dinners. He would take them to fancy resorts. He would take them all over the place, showing them the good life, right? And the next thing is he would actually add value to their lives. Well, what is the value that you're adding into your team members' lives, and how?
He wasn't adding any value to their lives. He made them think that he was going to add value to their lives, but he never did. All he did was take away from their life.
Yeah.
I don't get why she thinks this is a good analogy.
Again, can you show them that, right? All right, next, he was incredible at gaining people's trust. How much are people trusting you? Because in business, people do business with who? People they know, people they like, people they trust. So I want you to ask yourself, are you gaining people's trust? Are you showing them who you are by showing up? You know, he was really good at this. He would take, I have another phone right here. He would literally take the phones and he would record videos repeatedly to these people. He was in their WhatsApps all the time. Follow up, 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 follow up. Oh, here's my bodyguard. Oh, here's my friend. Oh, here's where I'm going. Oh, I'm going to Oslo. Oh, I'm on my trip to Belgium. Oh, I'm going to the Netherlands. Oh, he was constantly showing them. Like, how many of you take a long time to get back to people? These women, they would send a message and he would respond rapid fire, right? He was so quick at making sure that they were responded to, so he was able to gain their trust. Anytime they needed something, oh, I love you, absolutely. Let me send you flowers. Let me send you gifts. It's your birthday. It's this holiday. It was constant trust building. Well, what are you doing to build trust with people? Are you showing?
He was building trust by creating a completely false image. He was creating trust by strategically lying to them over and over.
Yeah.
Is that what she wants? I mean, clearly that's exactly what she wants her people to do.
Yeah, and she's also like saying, you need to be building trust. You need to be building relationships with people. And I'm sorry, but if you're building a relationship with someone or fostering this friendship with someone purely because you're hoping to get money out of them or that they'll buy your products or that they'll join your team, that is not okay at all. That's extremely unethical. You should be fostering relationships and building trust because you genuinely want to be friends with that person, not because you have this end goal of getting money out of them.
Yeah.
Up on calls? Are you responding quickly? Are you on live video? Are you posting reels? Are you being consistent? All these things are the same in the business and then also in scheming things like Simon, I don't remember his last name, okay? But he was very good at gaining trust, and if you want to scale a business, you better understand how.
That isn't something that's really used in the business world like she's describing. People don't fake friendships. I mean, unless they're scummy people, they don't fake friendships because they're hoping that they'll like get money or have some sort of business deal necessarily. I mean, I know that does happen, but
people do make sure they're on friendly terms with people and make sure that they can be trusted. They're presenting themselves as trustworthy in order to be in business deals.
But it's a business relationship,
right,
and
everyone's
very clear. Everyone knows. Everyone's informed that it's a business relationship and not like a real friendship.
Right. What Simon was doing was pretending to be like someone's
future husband.
Yeah, like saying, I'm in love with you, so give me 250 grand. And that's what she's saying to do.
And she's saying that that's normal, or that's just normal business. That's not normal business.
No, it's not.
Like, I'm just thinking, like, an example from my own life. I would never fake being friends with another anti-MLM creator because I'm hoping that they'll collab with me or support my channel in some way. That would be unethical. I mean, I would only befriend somebody if I really wanted to be friends with them.
Yeah, and if you want to collab with somebody, then you approach them and like get their consent to work with them in such and such a way, and you have appropriate boundaries there.
And that's the entire problem with MLM, is that it turns every single relationship into some monetary transaction. MLMers just look at people and think about how much money they can get from them. Yeah. And that's the problem with it.
How to gain people's trust. Next thing that he was awesome at is he was ridiculous at follow-up. I would hate but love a Simon on my team, okay? He was ridiculous with his follow-up. If you did not respond to him in his time of need, he was very fast at responding, right? He was very, very quick over and over and over and over and over again. My love, like I'm gonna use names right now. Lauren, my love. Rachel, my love. Jennifer, my love. Shonda, my love. Sky Baby Fitness, my love. Hina, my love. Sam, my love. Dean, my love. They're literally here, right? Like Maya, my love.
So is she saying that people should be bugging the shit out of everyone until they eventually buy their product or join their team?
And he wasn't just bugging them, he was harassing them
Yeah.
and gaslighting them.
Yeah.
On purpose, trying to be like, you are causing me so much pain. You are causing the problem. This is all your fault. You are a piece of crap. You need to do this for me.
Yeah.
He was purposely, psychologically manipulating them in a horribly unethical way.
And I really, really hope that Jessie isn't doing that to people in her downline, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised. If she thinks that that kind of conduct is okay, then I'm sure she is harassing people in her downline and being like, you're a really shitty person unless you know, whatever she wants them to do.
Well, there's no such thing as a victim, so if they cave
yeah,
into
that is
her
true.
harassment, then that's their
Yeah,
decision.
she
It
did,
has
in the
nothing to do with
last
her.
video, she did say that there is no such thing as a victim. And if people, like, lose money in MLM, that's their own fault.
Yeah.
He would record all these videos, constantly following up, constantly building trust, saying, oh, here I am on my plane, I'm flying to Spain. Here I am on my plane, I'm going to Israel. Here I am on my plane, I'm doing this. Always on the move, always prospecting, always growing, always communicating. How much are you following up and communicating with people? Because these women had deep, deep relationships with him because they trusted him because he communicated so much. Like, yes, that is true. If I watch a movie, I'm going to pull a training out of it for you, okay? So absolutely, he was following up harder and more aggressively than anybody. Like, you couldn't have followed up better than him. And when he needed the money and he said, oh, my love, my enemies are after me, my love. I need $25,000, my love, because my credit cards are shut off. They're constantly in this deeply built relationship where it's not weird. It's the same in business, right? If you've built a bunch of trust, you can ask your leaders, hey, I really need help with whatever. Or, hey, we're putting together this promo, I really need help. Or, hey, we're putting together a campaign, I really need help. Now, that's not manipulative, but this man was needing 25 grand.
I mean, I think it is manipulative to build trust and to fake having these deep relationships with people in order to later use that friendship for money. I think that is manipulative.
You can't say, oh, we can learn all these things from him and be like, okay, you should do this, and this that he did. Just don't do it in like a manipulative way. It's like, but that's what he did.
That's why it's manipulative.
It wouldn't be the Tinder Swindler, it'd just be the Tinder.
This man was needing $50,000 more. And then because he had so much trust, he was able to ask for crazy things like, I need $50,000. And then he would pretend to wire them back $100,000 for their hard times or their hardships or whatever, okay? Now, here's the thing. If you hear that follow-up that I just said, Sophie, my love, Jessica, my love, Teresa, my love, Bree, my love, my love, my love, my love, it was a system. Write it down. Simon was able to get $10 million out of these women because of systems. He knew, now he's a psychopath, no doubt about it, but he knew how often he needed to talk to people. He literally had basically scripts, if you think about it, written out on what to say to these women. He told every single one, my enemies are after me. He told every single one, oh my gosh, Peter, my bodyguard, look at this photo, right? Like he constantly was showing them the exact same things. Photo of him in the ambulance. It was like clockwork. Are you following a clockwork system? Do you have the same scripts? Do you have the same photos? Do you know what converts? Do you know what skills you need in order to close people? He had systems for everything. Systems. He knew. He knew exactly how much time it was going to take. He had all the right excuses. He had everything basically scripted. And because those relationships were so deeply built, he was able to swindle $10 million and probably counting out of these women. Okay? Now, here's something else. Now, don't take this the wrong way. He knew the kinds of people that he was trying to attract. So I talk about this all the time. The people that I recruit in network marketing are trying to make 6 figures a year, 7 figures a year, and I get to coach those people. I get to coach very hungry, very coachable, very leadable, very teachable people.
Of course, she's looking for those type of people, the people that are wanting to build this huge business, because guess what? She directly benefits from those people if they do recruit a lot of people, and if their business gets big, her business gets even bigger.
Or if they're super hungry and they're trying to get there, but they don't get anywhere, but they pay her a lot in training, she also benefits.
Yeah. So she's like acting like she's looking for these people and she wants to help them, but it's really just about helping herself.
Simon looked for people's vulnerabilities and then preyed upon them. I mean, they're looking for the perfect romance. They want a certain kind of friend they haven't found before. And he preyed on that, their weaknesses.
Yeah.
Isn't she just instructing people to do the same thing?
Yeah.
Don't take this the wrong way, though. It's not swindling.
When they join me in business, those are the people that I attract. I don't care what you look like, what you talk like, what you walk like, any of these things. I'm looking for hungry, willing, coachable, leadable, teachable, okay? And driven. Those are the people that join me, okay? I will tell you, he was very deliberate on their profiles for sure. Okay, you can tell if you look at the women that he was recruiting. There's kind of a certain look that they had to them. Thank you for sharing. Kind of a look that they had to them. Certainly, if you look on people's dating profiles, they'll show things, right? They'll show their horses, or they'll show their lifestyle. They'll show their cars. If I had a dating profile, you would see Cartier and Lamborghini and whatever. Now I better make sure I don't have a dating profile because now the swindler's gonna swindle me.
I think that's very sad. Like, she's saying that if she had a dating profile, it would all be these like designer brands, and that would be all the pictures that she put on her profile. I think that's super sad.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
Kidding. Oh, look at those red bottom shoes that girl got on. That girl got some money, honey. Okay, but look, the relationships, right? Like, he was looking for a certain type of person. This is not stupid. He was, for a lack of a better word, niching down. Do you understand? Simon was niching down this Tinder swindler. He would say, haha, okay, this girl is blonde, she is smart, she seems to be educated, she is a world traveler, she likes to go places, okay?
She's impressionable and vulnerable for a very specific reason that I know specifically how to exploit.
Yeah.
Which was the most important part. He probably just liked blondes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that was like the main thing he was looking for.
No.
He knew what he was doing. So he would constantly move on to more beneficial relationships. When one woman ran out of money and was starting to get a little suspicious in the money relationships, he would move on. Do you understand? So he would say, ha ha, ha 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 ha, right? And he would move on. It seemed to be...
Is she saying that, is she basically telling them that they should target somebody and suck all the money out of them that they possibly can, and then once they're, nothing is left for them to give, then move on to the next person? Because that sounds like what she's saying.
Yeah.
How does she not see how bad? I mean, she probably does.
Oh, she totally does.
But it's just like, how do other people not see that? I don't know. Frustrating.
A lot of little blondies, seem to be a lot of little blondies, for the most part, right? But I'm telling you, he knew what he was doing, okay? He knew exactly what he was doing. He was moving on to beneficial relationships. How many of you, basically in your network marketing business, accidentally or intentionally, whatever you want to call it, ignore the people who have their hands raised, and you're so focused on somebody who looks a certain type of way, right? I'm telling you, I see this all the time. Try diversity, right? But he knew, and he was very smart about this. And if you look at what happened, he was able to make fake names, he was able to make fake personas, he was able to make entirely fake stories, and then he was able to use the weak points of somebody and go after them and create a $10 million yeah, she's blocked. A $10 million swindling situation after I don't know how long. How long was it even going for? But I want you to think about that, because if he was able to swindle in just a few years' time, $10 million, imagine if he implemented all of these characteristics into his network marketing business. He wouldn't have had to swindle anybody. He wouldn't have had to scheme anybody.
Simon would have been a really good network marketer.
Yes, because he's good at swindling people, because that's exactly...
Yeah.
She's like, oh, but if he would have done all these things in network marketing, then he would have been really successful, and it wouldn't have been swindling, because I'm calling it network marketing rather than swindling.
Because we're just changing the label. Instead of looking at the actual actions that are involved, she's just like, well, it's the label's changed, so now it's not, problematic and illegal and scammy. We're just calling it network marketing now.
If it quacks like a duck, if it walks like a duck.
Yeah.
Oh
It
my
doesn't
God.
matter what you call it. If the actions involved are the same, then it is the same thing.
I can't think of, honestly, anything better that I could possibly show someone besides for actual data to demonstrate that MLM is a scam than her saying these things. I mean, she's just straight up admitting
saying
it.
it. Yeah.
He wouldn't have had to do any of these things, but if he had followed up, if he had prospected, if he had followed the systems, if he had moved quickly, and if he had made sure that he was having beneficial relationships, not just recruiting, but obviously with the people around him, with good mentorship and good coaching and consistency the way he showed up, he would probably be a multimillionaire and not go to jail. So, that is my training on the Tinder Swindler. I hope you enjoyed this live video. If you did, make sure you share the video. If you don't already follow me, make sure you follow. If you don't already subscribe, make sure you subscribe. And make sure to leave some comments below. I love you guys. I appreciate you. My name is Jessie Lee. You can call me Boss Lee or the People's Mentor. Don't call me the Tinder Swindler. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.
So final thoughts on this?
That was the most fucking unhinged thing I have seen from a network marketing or network marketer since I saw Des Walsh. I don't know, even exist. That guy was scary. Oh my God. It's hard to even articulate just how uncanny it is, how incredible it is to see somebody saying, do all these things that this notorious criminal did, and because we call it MLM instead, that makes it okay.
Yeah.
She was saying he was obviously a psychopath.
But he did all the same things that you think that people should do in their network marketing?
And you're saying that when you call something a different name, it makes it okay, even if you do all the exact same actions. That's kind of a psychopathic tendency.
Yeah.
I'm scared. Those are my final thoughts.
I mean, the business techniques that she tried to distill from the Tinder Swindler are not business techniques, they're manipulation tactics. I just still can't believe that a network marketer actually got on a live stream and talked about how the Tinder Swindler is actually a really good businessman. I can't believe that happened. How could she possibly think that that would have gone over well? She's comparing a man who ran a Ponzi scheme that defrauded tons of women out of millions of dollars to network marketing, which is known to be basically a Ponzi scheme, a pyramid scheme, which is very, very similar to a Ponzi scheme that disproportionately targets women. How did she think that that was going to go over well? I can't believe that she did that.
I can't handle it. Next up, Bosslee's training, how to be an excellent mentor as guided by Jim Jones.
Well, I actually have seen a network marketing person talk about Jim Jones and compare it to MLM before.
Instead of having them drink Kool-Aid, we'll have them drink Herbalife supplement nutritional shakes.
I can't remember exactly what he said. Let me try to think of it. Oh yeah, there was this Amway rep who was speaking at this event, and he said if Jim Jones was able to get hundreds of people to kill themselves, and you can't recruit anybody in your network marketing business, like how that's like such a big problem. Like he was directly comparing it to Jim Jones.
Okay, my real final thought here. Given the comparisons being made here, maybe one of the main reasons why people are not successful in network marketing is because they prioritize ethics over money.
Thanks so much for watching, and a huge thank you to my patrons who help make these videos possible. If you like this video, please be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. If you'd like to follow me on social media, my Instagram handle is Taylor_the_antibot, and my Twitter is the antibot. If you'd like to donate to this channel financially, my Patreon will be linked down in the description, and I'll see you all in the next one. Say bye! Or just sniff my lips.